Have you ever thought about this? What if an AI could do more than just learn? What if it could actually evolve? I mean, literally rebuild itself from the ground up. Well, that's the mind-blowing idea we're jumping into today, and it all comes from some incredible research by Anthony Pyper.
All right, so let's really think about this for a second. We're not just talking about an AI that crunches data. No. Imagine an AI that's working on a problem and goes, wait a minute, my own design isn't good enough for this. And then it just rebuilds itself to be better. That's what we're talking about. This is the next big leap, total autonomous evolution. No humans needed in the loop.
You know, the AI we have today is, well, it's pretty static, right? We build the architecture, we set the rules, and it just does its thing. But what this research is aiming for is something way more out there. We're talking about an AI that isn't just independent, but has something like an adaptive consciousness. Basically, it has the built-in smarts to look at itself in the mirror and decide how to evolve. And honestly, that gets us right to the heart of one of the biggest challenges AI is facing right now. So, here's the deal. Today's AI systems are basically locked in a box. Their fundamental design, what you could call their cognitive architecture, it's fixed. It can't change itself. Sure, it can learn new information, like new facts, but it can't learn how to become a better thinker. And that's the exact problem Anthony Pyper's work is trying to crack. So, what's the solution? Well, it's not just a simple upgrade. Oh no, it's a total, radical rethinking of what an AI is even supposed to be.
And this quote from the paper, it really just says it all, doesn't it? The whole goal is to build a system that can evolve all on its own without us having to constantly tinker with it. It's about creating an AI that's its own architect, its own engineer.
Okay, so you're probably wondering, how on earth does this even work? Well, it's built on three main pillars. And to make it easy to understand, we can think of them as the AI's brain, its mind, and its body. First, let's talk about the brain. It's something called a spiking neural network, or SNN. And it's designed to act a lot like our own brains by sending out these little electrical spikes. Now, that's not just a gimmick to sound cool. It's actually super important because it makes the whole system way more energy efficient and, gives it a more realistic biological foundation to evolve from. All right, pillar number 2, the mind. This part is called the meta-mixture of experts. The easiest way to think about it is like the AI's own internal CEO. It's the boss. It's always watching how the system is doing, looking at what's working and what's not, and then making the big decisions about what the entire system should do next. And finally, we get to the body. And let me tell you, this is where things get really wild. These are self-adaptive layers. They go by the name Seal-Mal-Nova. What they do is they can literally rewrite the AI's own code. They can snip away the parts that aren't working and grow brand new connections, essentially rebuilding the entire system from the inside out. It's incredible. Now, check this out. That mind we just talked about, it can put the whole system into one of 5 different consciousness states. So, for example, if it's just starting a new problem, it might pop into exploratory mode. But what if it gets stuck? Well, it could switch over to creative mode. Or, and get this, it could even go into a chaotic state to just throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. It's like having a whole toolkit for different ways of thinking. So the really crucial thing to get here is that these 3 pillars, the brain, the mind, and the body, they're not separate things. Not at all. They're all working together in this constant, never-ending feedback loop. And here's how that loop actually works. Step 1, the AI tries to do something. Then, the mind steps in and analyzes how well it did. Based on that, it chooses a new state of consciousness. That tells the brain to change how it's learning. And this is the amazing part. It tells the body to physically change its own structure. And then, the whole cycle just starts over, getting a little bit smarter, a little more efficient every single time.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. This sounds great on paper, but does it actually work? Well, let's take a look at the numbers.
And the results are, they're pretty darn impressive. First up, this system learned new tasks a whopping 35% faster than your standard AI models. But, being fast is one thing. What about being right? Well, it also hit a final accuracy rate that was 28% higher. So it's not just learning faster, it's actually learning better. And this next one, this might be the most important number of all. It was 42% better at taking what it learned and applying it to new things it had never seen before. That's huge. It means it's not just memorizing answers.
It's actually starting to understand the concepts.
Just look at this chart. It really puts that learning speed into perspective, doesn't it? That first bar, that's your standard static AI. The second one, that massive jump is what this new system can do. It's a complete game changer in how fast an AI can master something. And it's all because it has that power to reshape itself on the fly.
So, yeah, the numbers are amazing, but what does all this actually mean for the future? Well, the implications are even bigger. This research could be pointing us toward a very, very different world.
I mean, just think about it. You could have systems that can adopt all by themselves on a Mars rover or in the deep ocean where we can't reach them. Or what about an AI on your phone that actually gets more efficient over time instead of slowing down? This opens the door to AIs that don't just get trained once and then stop. We're talking about true, lifelong learning machines that are always adapting to a world that's always changing. And that leaves us with one last kind of heavy question to think about. We're on the verge of creating an AI that can literally rewrite its own mind, its own source code, its own structure, its very way of thinking. So, what happens when it evolves into something that's beyond our own understanding? That's something we're definitely going to have to wrestle with as this technology moves forward.